our today's lesson. Today we shall be looking at methods of incubation. Previously, we looked at the aspect of the egg, whereby we look at part of the egg, and today let us look at methods of incubation. We have two methods of incubation, that is the natural method and also the artificial method. We have the natural method and the artificial method, whereby in natural method, the hen is allowed to sit on the egg to take them through the incubation process, and then in the artificial method, instead of using the hen, it is now the modified one, whereby we use the brooder. Or not brooder, but incubator. The incubator is used in this method, but in the other one, the use is the egg. So let us basically look at all what pertains in the natural method. In natural method of incubation, we have seen in this one you use an N, and this N which is used, it should be a brood N. A brood N, it is the N which has the ability to sit on the eggs. That N which has the ability to sit on the egg. And for you to identify that this N has the ability to sit on the eggs, it has to show some of the characteristics which we are going to highlight here. The characteristics of a brood, and what are you going to see in this end so that you can confirm that truly it is going to sit on the eggs. One, it produces a characteristic sign. This becomes the very first sign which an hen is going to show. The other sign is that it starts plucking feathers. It starts plucking feathers from the abdomen. Much of these feathers which it plucks from the abdomen, it spreads them around the eggs. Another one is that it can stop laying the eggs. That means immediately you see that your hen has stopped laying of the eggs. At that point, you can be very sure that it is ready to undergo the process of the natural incubation. The other thing is the number of the egg. The number of the eggs range, they drop. That means again, even for instance, this hen used to lay every day, you may find that it is laying at an interval of a day. That means again, it is starting the sense of what? Broodiness, and therefore it has that ability to sit on the egg. Then after all these signs have been shown in your hen, then you have that potential to give it the eggs so that it can take them through the process of incubation. Now as you give your hen some of the egg, let us now try to look at the management of the natural incubation, the management practices, or else what you are going to enhance in that you are and during the incubation period so that you can enable the hatching of the chick. Okay, now let us look at the preparation and the management of natural incubation. Preparation and management of natural incubation. One, you provide a nesting box. A nesting box is just an ordinary box, but now it is modified, whereby you are going to place your eggs and then you allow the hen to sit on them inside it. The other thing is that you provide feed and water. You provide feed and water. Remember, when this hen is going the process of incubation, it will not have enough time to go through looking for feed for itself. Therefore, you have to give it both food and water. The other thing is that within the nesting box, you have to spray, or else you can dust. You spray or you dust so that you can control both the external parasite and even some diseases. And this is done so that, remember, once the hen is undergoing the process of incubation, in case it is attacked, let's say by the parasite, and this parasite, it is likely to spread them to the chicks once they are. And again, even if now take the combination of one disease and the parasite, once this hen is attacked by both, it may even end up to dying. Therefore, you need to spray or you dust so that you can control these two. Something else you need to do during this management, it is now the number of eggs. The number of the eggs which should be given to the brood hen. Consider this with respect to the size of your hen. That is now what dictates that exact number of the eggs that you give. For instance, those with the large hen, a large hen can be given like 15 eggs. But a medium-sized hen, it should be given 10 eggs. Generally, we are saying that the number of the eggs which should be allowed to be sat on by the brood hen, it should range between 10 to 15 eggs. Whereby, if your hen is of medium size, you give it 10 eggs, and if it is of large size, you can give it up to 15 eggs. That's as right management practices which should be taken during the natural incubation. Now, next, what you can look at is now both the advantages and disadvantages of the same. Now, let us look at the advantages of natural method. In natural method, one, there is less skills needed. That means because all the management practices or else the maintenance of that eggs is on the end, therefore there is less skills. That means the farmer, the moment you have just given the eggs to your hen, therefore it is the hen to take care of them up to the last moment. The other thing is that the margin of risk. The margin of risk is very less. This is the reason being that because all that the maintenance is being done by the hen, the farmer is assured that there is less risk which can be acquired. And the other thing is that there is less labor. Less labor is involved. Why are we saying that less labor is involved? The maintenance of the eggs are being on the owned of the hen. The other thing we can look at is now the disadvantages of the same. Though the natural method has a lot of advantages, still it has some of the disadvantages which it involves. One, we can say that the hen which is used must be brooded. Therefore, it is only guaranteed that for the method to take place, the hen must be brooded. And the brood hen must be provided. That means even if the farmer has the egg and there is no brood hen, then the method cannot take place. The other thing is the case of disease. The case of diseases and the parasite. If the hen had some diseases, it is going to spread the same diseases to the chick. The other issue is that less eggs. The less eggs can be hatched at Ango. That means, remember we said that the number to give is between 10 to 15. That means the number of the chicks which can be hatched within a certain time are very few. Okay, these are some of the disadvantages of the natural method. So for today, we have learned all about the first method of incubation, which is the natural method. We have used the N, and now we have looked at advantages and disadvantages. Thank you very much. Next time, we shall look at artificial incubation.